Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in this video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be seeing how many books I can read in 24 hours. So I'm going to do this over several days. I'm not going to do it all in one big bulk because I quite like sleep, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just going to start a timer and stop it when I finish reading, and then start a timer again when I pick the book back up, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So the first book I'm going to be starting with is, I have it here, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. It's supposed to be really good and I've heard a lot about it online. I'm really excited to read it, so I'm going to start with this one first, see how long it takes me to read and then go from there. So yeah. Okay, so I've been reading an hour now. I am 58 pages in and we've been introduced to Payden, which is the main girl in the story. We've been introduced to Adina, which is her friend, and then we've been introduced to Kai. And what's just happened is basically Payden's bumped into Kai in loot, stole some money from him, and then Kai gets attacked. So that's basically where I am in the story, if you've read it. If not, then sorry about the spoilers, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's yeah, it's giving me Oliver Twist vibes in a weird kind of way. Like, Payden sort of reminds me of a female version of the Artful Dodger from Oliver. I'm not entirely sure if anybody else has put the two and two together, but that's kind of what I'm getting from it. And I really love the character of the Artful Dodger, so I'm sort of really loving Payden at the minute too. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. I'll check in again at the 4-hour mark. See you all in a minute. Okay, so I'm 4 hours in now. I'm nearly halfway through the book. I'm on chapter 25. And since I last spoke to you, Payden's been called up to do these sort of trials. She's met Kai's brother Kit and his mum and dad, the king and queen. Kit is the heir to the throne. And he asked Payden to go to this big ball with him to be his dance partner, basically. And she went, even though the royal family killed her father. So she has some deep-rooted hatred for them. I think Kai and Payden are sort of falling for each other. I'm not 100% sure yet. There's definitely something there, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, the trials that Payden's been called up for, they've also started. We're sort of halfway through the first trial. They're all fighting to stay alive, basically. They're all trying to steal these bands from sort of the top of each other's arms. And the person with the most bands at the end wins. And they're all sort of fighting each other at the minute. The trials are sort of reminding me a bit of the trials at the end of ACOTAR, even though the trials are completely different. But yeah, the trials are sort of reminding me a bit of the trials that Nesta went through in A Court of Silver Flames. So if you've read that and you enjoyed that, you probably will enjoy this. That's where I am at the minute. Really enjoying it so far. I'm getting through it quite quick, so that's always a bonus. Really enjoying it. So let's read some more and I will check in with you later on. Okay, so quick update. I am 4 days in now and I haven't managed to get much reading done because I have had other things on, but I've got a couple of days off now, so I'm going to try and get as much reading done as possible and hopefully finish this. So we'll see how it goes. So we've just finished Powerless, the first book in this 24-hour challenge, if you will. And I did really enjoy it. I was really hoping that Payden and Kai would end up together. And when Kai was sent on a mission to find her, to bring her back to Kit at the end, I was really quite sad. So, just to get everybody up to speed, in the last 100 pages, they finish the last trial. It's a maze. They all have to get to the middle, and the final bit of the trial is to kill the person in the middle of the maze for crimes against the kingdom. And the person in the middle of the maze is Payden's friend Adina. We don't find out what Adina's crimes are. I'm really hoping in Powerful that we explore that a bit more, because I'd like to know a bit more about what she's supposed to have done. Payden obviously can't kill her friend, so she steps back. Kai also sees that it's Adina and doesn't kill her either. So Blair comes along and she stabs Adina, and Adina dies. Obviously, Adina is Payden's only friend, so losing her at the end was quite sad. So after that, Payden's obviously heartbroken about Adina, but then the Resistance comes in and a massive fight breaks out between the kingdom and the Resistance, obviously. So during this massive fight, Kit realises that it was Payden that ratted them out to the Resistance, and she sees the hatred in him when he looks at her. Then fast forward a bit, and Payden tries to escape, but the king finds her, and her and the king have a massive fight, and she kills the king. But as she's killing the king tells Payden that it weren't him that killed her father, it was actually Kai. And Payden is obviously annoyed. She goes back in her memory to think about what happened on that day and realises that it was actually Kai, and she's obviously heartbroken because she was falling for him. And then we get a bit where Payden wants to go back and get a dagger out of the king, but hears footsteps, and the footsteps are Kai. Kai then realises Payden's killed his father. He's not happy about it, obviously, but he still loves her enough to let her escape. So he gives her so many minutes head start. She starts running and she gets away, basically. But then at the very end of the book, Kit tells Kai, as his royal enforcer, to find Payden Grey and bring her to him. So that's where the book ends. I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of the trilogy. I really hope that Payden and Kai sort the differences out, because I would really, really like to see a romance between them. I am really enjoying the book so far. I do have Powerful for my next book, so this will be book 2 of the 24-hour challenge. So I'm about 109 pages into Powerful. I'm on chapter 9. I am really enjoying it so far. It's a nice little heartwarming story about Adina and this other guy, Mac, how they come together when Payden and Hera, Mac's friend, go off into the trials. I'm just at the part where Adina gets called up to be Payden's seamstress for the ball. Mac seems to be quite protective over Adina so far, which is nice. I really like the fact that we're exploring Adina as a character. So far, I'm enjoying it. So far, so good. I'm going to see where it goes from here. Right, so I've just finished Powerful, and I am utterly heartbroken. Why on earth does Lauren Roberts insist on ripping people's hearts out? I knew Adina was going to die at the end, but somehow I was hoping that Mac had used his powers to save her. I'm not sure, but I don't even know. It's taken me a while to process this one. It was a really good book. I loved it. Adina as a character, I love her. And Mac, I loved him too. But why did he not save her at the end? Just why? Heartbroken. There is a sneak peek of the new book that's coming out in June. And there's a bit where Kai goes to wish someone called A happy birthday with a sticky bun. So there's a little part of me that is praying that Adina is still alive somehow, or she can be saved somehow. I don't know. But why? Why do we have to lose the good characters? I'm so sad. I was really enjoying their romantic connection and just how the characters were developing together, and it's going to take me a while to get over this one, I think. He didn't even give her the present, the needle that's on the cover. The needle that Mac got for her, he didn't even get to give to her. And I'm so sad. I don't understand. This book series needs a happy ending. I have loved the book so far, but why do they keep getting my hopes up with romance and then shattering them? Why? So after reading Powerful, I want a completely different genre because I need time to process what I've read. So the next book I'll be reading for this challenge, I think I've got just over 13 hours left. So still quite a bit of time. The next book I will be reading is The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. This is a new release, so I am really excited to read this one. I have read some Holly Jackson before. I read the Good Girls Guide to Murder series and I really enjoyed them, so hopefully I'll enjoy this one too. Quick little update. So I'm about 100 pages in to The Reappearance of Rachel Price. So Rachel has just come back into the book and Belle's father is being a little bit suspicious. He told the production company if Rachel ever come home, he'd be really happy to see her. He'd hug her and tell her how much he'd missed her. But instead, he seems very quizzical, almost, like, I don't know how to explain it, like suspicious. He seems like he's questioning why she's back. He doesn't seem overly happy about it. Even Belle seems to think that something is off with her father. So I'm wondering if he's had something to do with the disappearance. That's where I'm at the minute, but we'll see where it goes from here. Right, so update time. I've got about 10 hours left on the clock. I am really enjoying it so far. Belle has started to investigate her mum's disappearance because she doesn't believe the story she's telling. It's getting quite interesting. I don't know who to believe at the moment. I'm sort of in and out of belief for different characters. Whether to believe Rachel's story or whether Belle's onto something. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to carry on, see where it goes. Right guys, little update. It is quite late, hence the reason I'm talking quietly. But I thought I'd update you anyway. I have just finished The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I absolutely love this book. The last 100 pages I flew through. It was brilliant. I don't want to give too much away in case you haven't read it yet, but if you haven't and you like Holly Jackson, definitely go and give this one a read. Really, really enjoyed this. I think the next book I'm going to read is Wonder. It is on this month's TBR. I was a little bit unsure on what to read next, so I thought, why not give this one a go? So this is the book I've picked up. I've got about 6 hours, 20 seconds left. We're gonna see what else I can read in that time. I am literally a few pages in and it's so sad already. It's just started so sad. Right guys, just a quick check-in. I've got 5 hours left-ish and I'm still reading Wonder. I've just got to part 3, which is Summer's point of view. I'm really enjoying it so far. There's some really sad bits, but also some really happy, light-hearted bits. I love the character of August. He's so cute. So yeah, that's about it. Right guys, so I have just finished Wonder. What can I say? It was an absolutely amazing book. The message of it is really, really great. It's a heartwarming story about the character August. He goes from one extreme to the other, really. You see him really blossom as a character during the story. There is a bit near the end that really made me sad when his dog died, because he says something about how his dog never cared about his face. She'd lick his face like it was her favourite face in the world, and that made me so sad because he'd lost not only his dog, but it made me feel like he'd lost his lifeline in a way. It is such a cute story. I'm so glad at the end that he won an award and that all his classmates loved him. I imagine this story would speak to a lot of people, whether they be people with disabilities, whether they be people who are social outcasts, whether they be people who are being bullied at school. I feel like this could appeal to a lot of people. And like I say, the message is really, really important. It is really heartwarming. And not only that, but it teaches people to be kind. It's something that's not spoke about enough. This book is definitely one that makes you think about things. It makes you think about kindness and how everybody should be kind, really. And I've really, really enjoyed it. It was heartwarming. I did cry a bit at the end, and I just loved it. I don't reread books very often, but this is one I will definitely be keeping. I will definitely be rereading. Really enjoyed it. Absolutely brilliant. So I've finished Wonder. I've got just under 3 hours left. So I wanted to choose a short book, so hopefully I'll finish it in the time I've got. The shortest book I had on my shelf was From the Embers by Martinez. And it says on it somewhere that it's the new TikTok sensation. I haven't seen a lot about it, to be honest. But I think it's going to be a romancy type thing. It's about two people who lose their partners in a fire, but they're all friends and they sort of comfort each other and they end up together, I think. So I think it's going to be a bit romancy. I think there's going to be sad parts of it, but I'm going to read it and see what I think. So we've got just over an hour and a half left on the timer. I'm on chapter 8 of From the Embers. I am enjoying it so far. The two characters, let me just double check the names. Bree and Easton. They're the ones that are left from the fire and they've just moved in together to help each other out. There's no romance yet, but I think it's coming. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. The house explosion's already happened. And they've lost their partners. They're sort of leaning on each other a bit. So I think the romance is coming. We'll see. But yeah, that's where I am with this one so far. It's good. So I'm going to keep reading. So that is the end of my what I can read in 24 hours video. I managed to read 4 full books. So I read Powerless, I read Powerful, I read The Reappearance of Rachel Price, and I read Wonder. And then I started From the Embers. I haven't finished From the Embers yet, but I'm quite a way into it. So I've read nearly 5 books. I think that's quite successful in 24 hours. I've really enjoyed doing this video, so I'm going to be doing more of them in the future. I hope you enjoyed it too. If you have, please like, comment and subscribe underneath. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it and I will see you all again next week.